So you're thinking about moving to Charlotte, North Carolina, then you're probably interested in learning about the neighboring suburbs. I get calls and emails every single day from people just like you looking to make their move to the Charlotte area. So whether you're moving in a month or a year, be sure to call, text, or email. I'd love to help you start your journey to Charlotte. In today's video, we're exploring a neighborhood called Thornblade here in Matthews, North Carolina. This neighborhood has a lot to offer, and I'd love to see if it would be a good fit for you. Be sure to stick around to the very end so you see the most recent real estate activity and location information. You're here to learn about Thornblade, so let's jump in. Starting with the home information, the neighborhood was built between 1995 and 2000, and it contains 122 homes. These homes have from 1,600 to 3,000 square feet. They're 1 and 2 story homes, and they have from 3 to 5 bedrooms. The lots are fairly generously sized, with the median lot size coming in at 0.35 acres and the largest lots coming over 1 acre. Let's talk neighborhood highlights. The HOA fee for Thornblade is only $60 for the whole year. And as you might expect for a low HOA, there aren't any amenities in the neighborhood. The schools that we're zoned for are Matthews Elementary, Crestdale Middle, and Butler High School. Home prices all over the Charlotte area have been on the rise lately due to the hot sellers market, and we're seeing the same thing happening here in Thornblade. As you can see, the most recent data we have is December 2021, and in that month in Thornblade, the median sale price was $458,000, which was an increase of 25.5% from just 12 months prior. So that is a pretty marked increase, a pretty drastic increase for 1 year. Another thing I like to show you is the price per square foot, which was $176, which is above average for the area and was an increase of 18.1% from 1 year ago. The last thing I like to show you is days on market. And this is actually down to 2 in December, which is very, very low. That means on average, from the time a home goes on the market until it goes under contract is taking about 2 days on average. It's hard to imagine it going any lower than that. It's very fast. The market is moving incredibly fast, so you need to be able to move quickly if you find a home you love. Normally at this point in the video, we talk about the current real estate activity. As of today, January 17th, 2022, there are no homes currently available in Thornblade and no homes under contract. We are going to look today at the closings that occurred in the last 6 months, but just keep in mind, you can check the resource down below. There's a link showing Thornblade, showing all the activity. So no matter when you're watching this video, you can find out what is currently available and what the most recent activity has been. So be sure to check out those links. For now, let's take a look at what has closed so you know what's trending in the market. It is a smaller neighborhood, only 122 homes, so you're not likely to see a lot of turnover. So this is pretty normal to see about 10 homes in the last 6 months. Just looking at these homes, you can see, let's look here at the days on market. So this one was 3. This one was 21. This one actually closed for under list. So it was actually priced a little bit high initially, which is what attributes the higher days on market. This one here was only 2 days on market. And this one was 3 days. We're going to look at these one by one, but I wanted to show you the days on market. 2, 4, and then 3, 2, 1, and 2. So you can see what has been happening in the market as far as days on market. So if I had to guess just based on that, I would say my guess without even looking, is that all except the one closed over list. But let's check and see if that's accurate. So let's go back to page 1 and we'll look at these one by one. So when we look at this one, let's switch it to the client pool. Let's take a few moments to look at these 10 homes and see if we can pull out some details to show us the trend. So the first one is 1515 Ivy Bluff Way. This one actually closed back in November. So you can see that it's been a while since anything has been active in Thornblade. I would imagine there should be some movement coming here. We're getting into the spring pretty soon. I would imagine we'll see some more activity coming up, but it's been quiet for a couple months. You can see it was listed at $450,000 and closed for $479,000. So that's a $29,000 increase over list where it closed. And that was only 3 days on market. All right. Things are happening really fast. If we keep going, we'll see the next one. This is the one that closed under list. And for being on the market for 21 days, I'm actually surprised that the difference is so low. It's only a $7,000 difference between the list price and close price after being on the market for 3 weeks. So that does surprise me. We keep going. This one was listed at $450,000 and closed at $468,500. And again, this one was just on the market for 2 days, so very fast. The faster they go, generally, they're going to be over list, generally. This one was listed at $425,000. Let's see, it was listed back in July, and it closed for $462,000. That's a huge difference to me. Looks like, let's see, 25, 35, 36, 37, 37,500 over list. So that is a massive difference. And you can tell they started it a little bit lower. The market was probably still moving a little bit slower at that point, and they didn't realize how fast it would go up. So that's a huge difference. Before that, list 415 closed 433 and only 2 days on market. List and close right on with only 4 days on market. So this one wasn't, the offer wasn't over list, it was right at. List price $442,500, closed at $460,000. Again, sold over list with 3 days on market. List $445,000, closed $497,000. So that's huge. That's a huge difference there. $52,000. I'm doing this in my head, so I hope you don't catch any math mistakes. This one was only on the market for 2 days. List price $450,000, closed $458,000 with only 1 day on the market. That one went really fast. Last one, let's see if I'm pretty accurate. Yes, okay. List price $379,900, closed at $400,000, so about $20,100 difference with 2 days on the market. So my prediction was pretty much spot on, except for one. One was closed right at list, not over. But otherwise, I was pretty much right on. You can tell that that days on market really makes a difference. So keep that in mind. All right, so that is the current real estate activity. And I don't know how current it is. It's a little bit outdated because there's been no movement in Thornblade lately. I kind of tripped over my words there. But you can see things haven't been moving, but spring is coming. I would imagine there will be some listings coming up. The next thing I want to mention is, since we're heading into the map information, I do want to mention that Thornblade is a little bit cut off here. This is Thornblade, and then this part here that's kind of outside of the boundary is Thornblade Hills. So there are 2 different sections, and the HOA fees in Thornblade, the part that's highlighted here, that's $60 for the whole year. The Thornblade Hills is $105 for the year. So if you notice, some of the homes that were listed as being in Thornblade were actually in Thornblade Hills. So it's a distinction you'll want to keep in mind as you are thinking of selling or buying in Thornblade. There's a little bit of a boundary line there with some slight differences. So here's our Charlotte map. You can tell where all these clusters of pins are. This is the Matthews area. So we're going to zoom in and see if we can find Thornblade. And I have the whole section here, the whole neighborhood, whereas the last map I showed you was kind of like cutting off this boundary here as Thornblade Hills. So just keep in mind, I'm showing you the whole map here. Like I mentioned, there aren't amenities in the neighborhood. So you'll notice if you kind of zoom in, quite a few homes have built their own little like play areas, pools. You, the lot sizes are pretty generous, with the median size being 0.35 acres. So you have the ability, you have the room to do those things for yourself instead of relying on the neighborhood. So the money you save on your amenities, you can put towards those things that you want for yourself. I would love to show you just across the street from, so here's your neighborhood boundary here. Just across the street, you have Squirrel Lake Park, which is an incredible park in the Matthews area. It's connected to the 4-mile Greenway. It's a walking trail that's very popular in the area. You can connect straight into that walking trail. You also have a playground. You have a fishing pond, a fishing pier. Not a ton of parking. It's kind of a small parking lot, and it can get busy here, but lots and lots of trees. So this is a very popular park in the Matthews area. And we can see here's their playground and their pier. They also have some picnic tables and a couple pavilions. So you can book parties or things like that there as well. Actually, on TripAdvisor's things to do in Matthews, Squirrel Lake Park is the #1 thing to do in Matthews. So I thought that was interesting to mention. You're right there in Thornblade. And the 4-Mile Creek Greenway is #2. And you have direct access to that as well. So that is good to know. Let's zoom out a little bit so you can see. I'm going to pull up the directions to the schools. So the elementary school, let's go ahead and bring up the step-by-step. The elementary school is about a 1.5-mile drive. And let's zoom out a little bit so you can see that it's kind of stuck in this cluster of pins here. But from the neighborhood to the elementary school, which is Matthews Elementary, it's just about 1.5 miles. Then the middle school is about almost another 1.5 miles from the elementary school. It's right here. And then the high school is a little bit further away, right over here for you. So you'll notice that the schools aren't in a cluster in Matthews. It's not a quick little, cross the street and you're at the next school type of a thing. So just keep that in mind. If you happen to have children that are spread out in ages, you might be driving multiple places, or if you have busing, that's perfectly fine too. Then you don't have to worry about it. I like to just talk about a couple of the highlights in Matthews to give you an idea of where you are. I'm going to take off those directions and get us back to Matthews, because somehow we got taken back to Charlotte there. The Sportsplex at Matthews is a really great place for soccer. They have the 4-Mile Creek. I lost the name of it already. What was it called? 4-Mile Creek Greenway is actually in the Sportsplex as well. It goes everywhere. It's a great walking trail. So that's right there in Matthews for you. You have a bowling alley in Matthews. You have Costco and Sam's Club. You have access to lots of medical facilities. The brand new hospital is coming. It's not open yet, but it will be open very soon. They said early 2022. So it should be open soon. Matthews has tons of trees, tons of green space. They have lots of parks. So if that's your vibe, if you really like that, Matthews is a great place for you. They also have an adorable downtown area, which is, it kind of has like an old-fashioned vibe. It has a little train station in their downtown area. It is right off of a railway. I hope this video gave you a great overview of Thornblade and helped you decide if it is a good place for you to think about moving. If you have any questions about Thornblade, be sure to reach out. My number's on the screen for you. And if you have a neighborhood you'd like to see featured in an upcoming video, be sure to leave a comment below so I know to start researching. I hope you agree that Matthews is a great place to live just outside of the Charlotte area. And if you have some experience living in Thornblade, please leave a comment about your experience. I hope that you found value in today's video, and if so, be sure to subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends and family. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.